So hi, my name is Anaïs Kabore. I made the short film Touch Me With Your Eyes. And I'm here in Sicilia for the Sicilia Queer Film Festival. I was invited to show my film, and I'm very grateful. Yeah. So the film was actually very well received, and I was actually surprised by it because the shooting was very different than expected, because normally the casting I wanted to shoot for like half a year with my two actors, but the casting took longer than expected, so eventually we only had 2 months to shoot. And because of this, everything was very quickly. So we would, for example, shoot 1 day, and then we would like have 4 days for me also to rewrite, because I like to work with improvisation, to work on what has been filmed. So it was very quick, everything, not a lot of time to think. So in the editing, it became a new film. And this made me very, wonder how it would be received, because it was also for me something different. But I was very, surprised by how, interested the jury was, because there's always an external jury that comes to the school. Yeah. Actually, I feel like my influences are more books I've read and performance artists. So for the books, I was actually very inspired by, for example, a book that's called Things as They Are. Yeah, Things as They Are by Michael Jackson, funnily enough. And there he speaks about, or it's actually different essays from anthropologists that try to see other people in a more phenomenological, more subjective way. And this made me inspired to actually question how films can be seen in another way than the ways we know, to tell a story in a more subjective way, but subjective not in the sense that we know already, but more, for example, how can light be a physical thing, and how can we play with time? We share time when we watch a film. So books on the one hand, but on the other hand also performance artists. I really wanted to incorporate or think of shooting a film as a performance or as a happening, as a moment that's not only for the camera but also for ourselves as the filmmaker, but also for the actors. You have, for example, the scene where the girl decides to jump off her bike. It was also for me, I wanted it for her to be a confrontation with her own fears, daring to fall, daring to have pain maybe. Yeah. Actually reading books, certain books that were about phenomenology, made me myself see the world differently, to have this, I was really fascinated by the power of how a book can make you see the world differently. And I was thinking how film could do the same. And then at the same time, I had fallen in love, and this had kind of the same effect, seeing the world differently. So I wanted to give the viewer the same, to be with people who are getting to know each other, and going through this world through their eyes, but also as someone who looks at them and looks at what's around them, like you said, nature. So I'm at the beginning. For my next project, I have the budget, but it's very open what it will be. But what I feel most that I was already fascinated with in this film, in Touch Me With Your Eyes, was the awareness of a public, of the fact that when you watch a film, it's with strangers. And I like to experiment with this idea in a film. How can a film not only be a thing on a screen, but also yeah, how can the narrative also be influenced by the awareness that there are people watching this together? For example, in my film now, you have this very intimate scene. What does it mean to watch something so intimate with people next to you, maybe strangers, maybe your mother, who knows? So my next film will explore this further. Yeah. Yeah, it's very interesting to see this city. I didn't expect it to be how it is. It really feels different than Belgium, Palermo. Yeah, which is logical, but I've also been in Venice, and it's also very different, but it feels very alive here. And I'm also very drawn to the animals here, actually. A lot of mutilated animals. But yeah, it's. I want to follow them. I want to follow how people go through the city. Yeah.